Hello everyone, RJ is back again. Today I have one more story, the Museum of Unlived Lives. The invitation arrived without a sender. It contained only one sentence. Your reservation has been confirmed for the Museum of Unlived Lives. Curiosity defeated reason. At midnight, the man found himself standing before a building so large that its roof disappeared into darkness. An old woman opened the door. There are no tourists here, she said. There are only owners. Owner of what? She looked into his eyes. Regret. She handed him a lantern. The electricity never reaches this place. Why? Because truth is too bright. The first hall contained no paintings, only empty glass cases. Every case carried a name. His name. What was supposed to be inside? He asked. The old woman answered quietly. Achievements. He laughed. I haven't achieved much, she replied. That is why the cases are empty. They walked farther. The second hall was filled with voices. Children laughing, parents smiling, people thanking someone, but no one could be seen. Who are they? They are consequences. Consequences of what? Your action. I have never met them. She nodded. Exactly. She pointed to an empty space. There should have been a hospital here. Another. There should have been a company there. Another. There should have been a scholarship. Another. There should have been a book. Another. There should have been a young engineer who solved a problem nobody else could solve. The man frowned. I never promised any of those things. The old woman stopped walking. Every ability is a promise. You you thought talent was a gift. It was a debt. The lantern became heavier. Every step demanded effort. They entered the largest room. Thousands of clocks hung from the ceiling. None of them moved. Every clock displayed a different hour. 8:13, 2:47, 11:02, 6:51. What are these? She answered. The exact moment you traded for your future. He stepped closer. One clock began to speak. I will start tomorrow. Another. I deserve a break. Another. I am not in the mood. Another. One more video. Another. Just this once. Million of voices. The room became unbearable. He covered his ears. They are only excuses. No, the old woman whispered. These they are causes. They kept walking until he reached the final chamber. In its center stood a coffin. It was open. Inside lay nothing. Who is buried here? She answered. The greatest person who ever died without existing. He looked confused. There is no body. There never was. She closed the lid. The tragedy is not that he died. The tragedy is that he was never born. The man felt anger rising. I am alive. The old woman looked at him with infinite sadness. Breathing and becoming are not the same thing. You have confused survival with life. She handed him one last document. Across hundreds of pages, every day of his life was recorded. He searched for birthday, vacation, celebration. None were listed. Only decision, ignored opportunities, broken promises, abandoned discipline, repeated comfort. Every page ended with the same sentence: potential reduced. He turned faster. Fear disappeared in seconds. The sentence never changed. Potential reduced, potential reduced, potential reduced, potential reduced. Until the final page. There was no accu- accusation, no punishment, only one line. Nothing more could have been expected from the choices that were repeatedly made. He fell to his knees. So, this is the judgment. The old woman shook her head. No, judgment would require someone else to condemn you. This, she closed the book, is simply arithmetic. The museum began to collapse. The clock shattered. The empty cases broke. The invisible voices faded. As the building disappeared, the old woman spoke for the last time. People fear death because they think it ends life. They should fear ordinary days. For death only arrives once, but ordinary days quietly decide thousands of times whether a life will ever truly begin. The man opened his eyes. Morning light entered his room. His phone vibrated. The same habit waited. The same excuses waited. Nothing outside had changed. Only one thing refused to leave him. He no longer feared dying. He feared reaching the end of his life and discovering that the person who died had merely occupied a body that someone greater had borrowed but never truly used. The most unsettling stories rarely end with a burst of motivation. They end with a realization that quietly follows the reader into ordinary movement. This lingering realization, not adrenaline, is what gave them lasting power. Thank you.